A homeless black boy saved a millionaire's life with an unexpected act. The river was calm, but her mind wasn't. Claire Walker gripped her phone tightly as she stepped barefoot into the shallow water, staring at the screen, 100 missed calls from her assistant. Dozens of panicked messages from her company. Her hand trembled. She'd been called a genius, a millionaire entrepreneur who could do no wrong. But in the past 24 hours, her world had come crashing down. Betrayal from her closest partner, a public scandal she never saw coming, and now reporters outside her mansion waiting to tear her apart. Claire shut her eyes as the cool water lapped at her ankles. "They'll never let me live this down," she whispered. "After all I've built, all I've sacrificed." She walked deeper. The river pulled at her long maroon blouse. The soft current pushed against her legs like a warning, but she didn't stop. On the other side of the riverbank, a small boy crouched low in the bushes. His clothes were filthy, clinging to his thin frame. His curly hair was matted and his feet were bare. He had been watching her for several minutes, too nervous to approach. "What is she doing?" he muttered. He knew this spot well. It was where he sometimes washed the grime from his body, where he searched for scraps floating downstream. But he had never seen anyone like her before. A woman so clean, so pale, dressed in clothes finer than anything he'd ever touched. She didn't belong here. And yet there she was, walking deeper into the water. Claire felt the river pull harder as it reached her chest. "Maybe it's better this way," she said aloud. Her fingers loosened and the phone slipped from her hand, vanishing beneath the surface. She closed her eyes, tilting her head toward the sky. The warmth of the sun pressed against her face. Then her foot slipped on a rock. Ah! Her arms flailed, and in an instant, the current grabbed her. Her head went under. The boy leapt to his feet. "No!" he shouted. For a moment, he froze. The water terrified him. He wasn't a strong swimmer. But as he saw her arms break the surface weakly before sinking again, something inside him screamed, "Move!" He ran down the bank, mud squishing between his toes, and plunged into the river. The water was colder than he expected. His breath caught as he struggled forward, the current tugging at his small body. But he pushed on, his eyes fixed on the spot where she disappeared. When he reached her, her body was limp. Her long brown hair floated like seaweed around her pale face. His heart pounded. "Wake up!" he yelled, wrapping his arms under her shoulders. She didn't respond. The boy kicked furiously, dragging her toward the shore. "Don't die! Don't die!" he muttered through clenched teeth. The weight of her body pulled at him, threatening to pull them both under. But he refused to let go. With every kick, his chest burned harder. But he didn't stop. Finally, his feet found the muddy bottom. Gasping, he half-dragged, half-carried her to the shallows and laid her on her back. Water dripped from her lips. Her face was still. He pressed his small hands to her cheeks. "Please," he whispered, his voice breaking. "Don't leave. Please breathe." And for the first time in his short, harsh life, the boy prayed. He didn't know her name. He didn't know her story. But as he knelt beside her, tears mixing with river water, he knew one thing. If she didn't wake up, it would break something inside him forever. The woman's pale face stayed motionless, her lips slightly parted as if reaching for air that wouldn't come. The boy's small hands trembled as he touched her cheek. "No, don't leave," he whispered. "You can't leave now." His heart pounded so loudly he thought it might burst. He had never been taught what to do in moments like this. No one had ever explained how to save someone from the edge of death. But he couldn't just sit there and watch her fade. Think, he muttered, his hands pressing nervously on her shoulders. Then he remembered something. Months ago he'd watched from a distance as an old man in the market collapsed. A passerby had kneeled over him, pushing on his chest again and again until the man sputtered back to life. The boy didn't know the word for it. He only remembered the motion. "I'll try it," he said aloud, his voice cracking. "Please let this work." Placing his small palms on her chest, he pushed down gently at first. Come back, he murmured. Nothing. Panic surged through him. He pressed harder, counting like he'd seen the man do. 1, 2, 3. Still nothing. Tears strayed down his face. Don't risking die. His life Don't for a stranger who had cried. Everything. Then he remembered another thing. Tears Once a group of teenagers by the river had been splashing water your name, at each other, she whispered. One of them had pretended to choke at his hands. The others, Mullik, had blown air softly into her mouth as a joke. Mullik, his small body shivered as he leaned more closer to the woman's than anyone ever has. I'm sorry, he whispered. They stayed there in the water. The millionaire and the homeless boy, but I have to try. Two lives unexpectedly intertwined. He pinched her nose, and though neither knew it yet, and pressed his act of courage would set off a chain of events that would change both their lives forever. For a moment, everyone who heard their story later was stunned. Then she jerked violently, stunned that a homeless child had risked everything to save the life of a stranger. Her chest heaved as she sucked in air. Saved was one of the richest and most powerful muddy riverbank. The boy felt what started as a desperate moment in a quiet river would become a story the whole world couldn't stop talking about. She's alive. Mullik didn't save her because he expected something in return. He saved her because in his heart he still believed one simple truth. She thought she was dreaming. Mattered. Then her gaze, even if no one had ever shown him that his dark skin covered in river water. If you enjoyed the story, his tattered brown shirt, to give it a thumbs up to his bony frame, that subscribe button, his wide for more emotional, dramatic, and unexpected tales. And let us know in the comments. The boy said nothing. Where in the world he only nodded faintly. We love hearing from still rising and falling Until rapidly. Next time, Claire tried to sit up, stay curious, but fell back and keep watching. Why? Why did you save me? She asked weakly. I couldn't let you sink, the boy whispered. I couldn't watch you go. For a moment, the world seemed to pause. Here was a child with nothing. No home, no family, no shoes on his feet.